Welcome to G&J Adventures. Today, G&J are going to be taking a trip up to Helen, Georgia. Just a quick day trip to get away from it all and enjoy the sights and so forth. The video we will be posting is going to be a bit choppy. It's not going to be well done per se as far as professionalism. We don't have any professional editing or anything like that to go with right now. So just enjoy the trip, enjoy the sights that we can show you from Helen. And for those of you who don't know about the city, hopefully it will help you understand one of the places here in the North Georgia area that people can go to enjoy themselves and relax and get away from it all. Thanks for joining us, and if you like this video, please subscribe, hit the like button, and let other people know that we're here. Thank you, and have a great day. G&J Adventures, folks. Today, G&J are in Helen, Georgia, just having a daytime trip, and we'll be doing a little bit of recording and then stopping throughout the day, just a few sites of the little town of Helen in the northeast mountains of Georgia. Right here in the front of us you can see one of the tubing company buses going back and forth between the north end and the south end of the tubing section of the river. And behind that you can see the buildings of Helen downtown. As you can see, Helen is just a little Bavarian type town. It's very pretty all year round. At Christmas time they always decorate up for Christmas. It's gorgeous up here. In October they have Oktoberfest because it is a Bavarian town, as it were. So you know they definitely deal with Oktoberfest and the different craft beers and so forth they have. So we're gonna stop the video now here for a few, and we'll pick it up later. And this is a little fall that's up in the north end of Helen. And it's just a place we like to visit when we're up here. It's kind of serene and tranquil. Just the sound of the water falling is really relaxing. And it comes from the top up there in the park. It runs down here. It runs underneath this little bridge we're on. And then it comes out on the other side. And it runs on down toward the street level and down into the drains, and from there down to the river. And we'll show you some river shots here in a little while. The Chattahoochee River runs through here, and they have tubing. As I showed you the bus before there, they have tubing on the river all summer long. There's two companies here in town that do tubing. You rent your tubes, you can rent your push sticks, and for like $4 for the trip, or I think it's about $12 a day for unlimited times down the river. You can get a ticket and just take your time down the river. It takes about an hour and a half to make the trip on the river on a tube, and that can be a lot of fun too. But this year we haven't been able to do it because unfortunately I've had some knee problems that have prevented us from doing a whole lot. We'll be back in a few. Folks, is that fall from street level. So down here's our little retaining wall at the sidewalk, and it just goes on up, and just up through those trees and bushes up there is where I was at a minute ago. And just for another little bit of information for you here, that is the city of Helen, and it's the Elena Falls. North end of town is their requisite windmill, as it were. Again, it's a Bavarian based town, and so therefore they're going to have all the style and architecture and quaintness of the Bavarian town, windmills and all. This is a little hallway, one of the aisles down in downtown in between the buildings. As you can see, we've got funnel cakes and we've got homemade ice cream. And then on down there's a wooden toy, and there's some jewels. And it's just a nice, cool little hallway to come down. It gets you out of the sun, it gets you into a breeze, and it's kind of quaint. Here we are at the Sister City sign. As you can see, Helen actually has a sister city in Bavaria, in the Republic of Deutschland. And as you can hear, in the back there are street performers that are performing, and they perform for tips out here on the street. Sorry about this, obviously. This is a horse-drawn carriage in Helen. There's about 4 or 5 of these horse-drawn carriage groups here that just will rent you a carriage and take you on a tour of the town. Kind of romantic if you've got a few extra bucks to spend and a little bit of time to ride around town in. But they're just off on this little side street here, and they pull up into their parking area and wait for fares to come along. River in town, and as you can see, there's lots of people on the tubes today going on up. And as it comes down, we're under the bridge right in the middle of town right now. You can see the bridge trusses here. And I'm going to take a little bit of a walk around and grab the other side of the truss. But this is just one spot on the river. Like I said, it's about an hour and a half long for the tubing ride. And I'm trying to not zoom out. I want to have you get the full effect of the river, as well as not be too close on people's faces or whatever. And so I'm going to come around here, and I just passed several people. I did not want to invade on their privacy, of course. Here's the other side of the truss, and as you can see, it's got an arch there, another arch over here, and then a third arch on the other side. And that's basically the river coming down. You can see down through the river here where people are getting stuck on the rocks. And this is actually not bad. When the river's really low, a lot more people get stuck on the rocks for a lot longer time periods. Here is from the other side of the river. As you can see, there's a nice walkway there, very well protected from anybody trying to fall off the bridge, either accidentally or purposefully. Again, a lot of tubers coming down the river today. It's not as crowded as it has been at other times we've been up here, but it's crowded enough, as you can see, and people are just enjoying themselves going down the river. Here in Helen, there's a couple of things I was going to try to video, but they don't allow it. There's a glass blowing shop in here where they do torch glass blowing and make all kinds of different decorative glass items and so forth. They don't allow you to do pictures or video in there for obvious reasons. They don't want people looking at stuff and then trying to copy it later if they happen to know how to do glass blowing. And then there's another shop that's just got all kinds of trinkets and things. It's actually more of a consignment shop where people who make different things have them all in this one store. The one store is basically a consignment area for them, and there's people from all over the southeast that market their goods in there. It's really kind of neat. Again, because of the nature of it, they don't allow pictures or photography or video. So anyway, that's by the way, those two shops are in this building. It says the Castle Inn. That's a restaurant in the downstairs. I'm not really sure what's upstairs, but those the glass blowing shop and the consignment shop, as it were, is just on the other side of the Castle Inn in that same building, right across the river from where I'm at. Here's the information for this year's Oktoberfest. It is the 50th anniversary from 1970 to 2020 Oktoberfest in Helen. So yeah, that's next year's, I guess. That's not this year's because it's still 2019. Sorry about that, folks. Anyway, it's been a long day for us. But that's going to be something to look forward to next year, to have the 50th anniversary up here.